What is going on, guys? Today's question is, does your website and or funnel have these two elements clearly defined inside of them? Okay, let's break this down. So the past week, I've done quite a bit of funnel and website audits with a couple of my Brand Accelerator clients, and I noticed a pattern that I want to address, okay? And there's two things that I'm seeing over and over and over again. A lot of business owners doing with their online presence, specifically on their website and funnel, that are probably costing them quite a bit of conversion, okay? The one thing that I see is they're trying to do either too much with their website or funnel, or they're trying to do not enough. Or I should say they're not doing enough with their website or funnel elements. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with not doing enough. Okay, so I recently did an audit of a website, and aesthetically, it was gorgeous. The look and feel of the site was beautiful. The transitions from page to page and the way the imagery showed up and the functionality was gorgeous. But there was one big thing missing. And it was the evidence of value. Okay? The evidence of value, meaning I just wasn't sold on the service. It was like this super hot chick in front of me, but there was no personality. There was really no real value behind the site, and that is a huge mistake, because you can have the prettiest site in the world, but if it doesn't articulate the value, what is the value that you are delivering? How are you going to make these people's lives better? What is the transformation that your business delivers? That's what I mean when I say value. It wasn't there. There were minimal testimonies. There were minimal case studies. And the case studies that they did have there, it was just like an online brochure. It just showcased, again, pretty work. But it didn't articulate the problem that particular case study had and how that client was able to solve that problem for that client. So there just was a lack of evidence. The evidence of value was not there. So the first thing that I want you guys to start to think about is, or start to look at is, does my website provide enough evidence of value? And there's a lot of ways that you could do that. I just mentioned two: case studies, testimonial, maybe behind the scenes work. That could be another one. The other problem that I'm seeing is that you're trying to get your website and funnels to do way too much for you. Meaning you're starting to look like the jack of all trades, and people are subconsciously, when they come to your site, asking themselves, what exactly do they do? What exactly are their services? How exactly are they going to help me solve my problem? And when you spread yourself thin like that and you cast this wide net, like we do this and we do that and we do this and we do that, people are going to be like, well, I mean, then what are you really good at? Right? And that there casts a very horrible shadow of doubt inside your website or funnel visitor's mind. So if you're trying to do too much, I also saw this one particular funnel had multiple calls to actions to different places. One went to an opt-in for a webinar. Another one went to purchase a consult. The other one, it was just, where do you want your funnel visitors to go next? They can't go two places. They can only go one. So which place do you want them to go? Where do you want them to go next? and keep them very focused on one solid course of action, one direction. All right. So how do we solve this problem? There's two focuses that I want you to pay attention to today. Okay. It's the PV, and I'm not talking pineapple and vodka here. I'm talking purpose, and I'm talking value proposition. All right. Let's start with your purpose. Does your website and funnel clearly articulate the purpose behind what it is that you're doing? The why behind it all. Oh, I forget where it was, but I read some statistic that it was something along the lines of purpose-driven brands just outmatch profit-driven brands. And again, we get it. We're in business to make money. We're in business to make profit. But the ones that only focus on that tend to not do as well as brands that really focus on their purpose and have a really good story behind how their business was created and why their business was created. So, focusing on the purpose. So let me ask you, does your website clearly define your business's purpose? If not, we got some work to do. The other thing that I want you to pay attention to is the value proposition, right? We were talking about this a little bit before, but how does your product or service help your customers tell their story? How does it benefit their lives? I see a lot of convincing going on. I see a lot of copy on websites nowadays, specifically the ones that I audited this week. We're trying to do a lot of convincing by, pouring salt on the wound and focusing in on the pains and things like that. Now I get that. There's a time and place for that. But if your entire site revolves just around that, then you become like the bearer of bad news. That's not a good feel. So what I want to prompt you guys to do, or have you guys do, is start to look at your brand assets online, like your websites and funnels and social media content, and ask, does it articulate the benefit that my client is going to get after they interact with my product or service, or after they buy from me? Does my product or service help them get to their desired future state? And are we clearly communicating that? If the answer is no, we got work to do. So let's take a second and just imagine this. We now have a website and funnel that clearly articulates the why behind your business and really showcases the evidence of value that you deliver. What do you think that's going to do for your bottom line? Question. What do you think that's going to do? What if we minimize the noise and only put out messaging that clearly defined purpose and clearly defined your value that you deliver to them? What's that going to do to your bottom line? It's going to change the game. So I got to go pick up my son, so I got to wrap this up. So couple action items I want you to take today. I got a couple questions for you. Well, first and foremost, one, I want you to do an audit on your funnels and website. And take a look at them. Now that you know what you know now, are you showcasing the reasons why people bought from you in the past? Evidence of value. Evidence of value. Okay? Are you handling objections? So you want your website and funnel to handle objections, to sort of pre-frame your customers before they get on the phone with you to make that purchase. Okay. Does your website or funnel clearly articulate the purpose behind what it is that you're doing? Lastly, do you have clear call to actions on your site or funnel that directs them to one destination? What is that one thing you want your customers or your website or funnel visitors to do once they get to your site? There you have it. That is where we start if we want to start to get our websites and funnels converting and selling for us. The PV, the purpose and the value prop. We got to get super clear on that and get rid of that FOMO, because I know what you're thinking. Well, what if I just focus on one thing at a time? What about everybody else over here? What about them? You know what? You know what? When you try to focus on everybody, you're diluting your purpose. You're diluting your value prop. You do not want to do that, because subconsciously your online audience is going to start scratching their heads going, what does this guy do again? What does this gal do again? And that's the beginning of the end right there. So focus on these two things. Do what I told you to do today and see where the gaps lie. See where the room for opportunity lies and fix it, or hire somebody to help you fix it, because these are the leaks and cracks inside your branding assets that, if not closed or patched, could help you, will lead to, I will say this, will lead to a ton of wasted time, money, and energy. And I know we all want every buck to bring us the biggest bang we can, right? So I'm just sharing these two little pieces of the branding puzzle with you today. There'll be more about finding your ideal customer and all of that later on next week. But I want you to dial into these two things, your purpose and your value prop, and just focus there for now. And we will eventually get you a rock solid brand and a rock solid online presence that's really going to help you attract your ideal client that is willing and able to pay you top dollar for what it is that you do. And that is my goal for you guys. I want to see you guys working with great clients, charging a premium, and really being proud of the brand that you are promoting and that you are building. Have an amazing day, guys. And I'll catch you on the next episode real soon. Take care.